This is my very first book, Mother Mars. First to be written from beginning to end. First to be published. And I'm done with it. No, wait. Come back, I still love you. Hey there, Greaser. Sandwich Sean here. It's National Novel Writing Month, and I had to think about what I was going to write this month. For this November, I'm actually going back and rewriting this. Said rewrite encompassing a lot of the content that spans the Whispers of a Planet series. By the way, you'll want to subscribe to this channel if the prospect of a 30-day monster vlog encompassing all of NaNoWriMo interests you. Back to this book. This book probably has the most reads out of anything I've published on Amazon. And that scares me. It's bad and written awkwardly because I terribly misinterpreted a series of edits that my English major friend suggested to me. I mean, there's plenty of good ideas and plot points in this. They're just not structured in a way that makes me satisfied with my writing. I've certainly learned a lot since I've begun writing in earnest, and especially since reading again too. I imagine there's a lot of authors out there who have taken their books and their works and gone back through them and pretty much reinvented them. But I imagine there's probably less who've taken a work that they've published openly and, rewrote it basically from scratch. I imagine there's a pretty good chance that someone trying to read through this for the first time might get put off by the writing style, or at least the writing style that I had back then. It's very hard to quantify or even qualify the changes in one's writing style over time. Perhaps I'll ask my readers out there, have you ever rewritten something so drastically that it's basically something brand new? Okay, it's a day later and we're back. I'm going back to the footage and editing it down. I realized that I really didn't talk much about this book, or why it's important to me, or why I'm even putting in the effort to go back and rewrite it. Why is it important? Let's talk about that. So even though I should be editing this video, putting it up, and writing my book, and trying to reach my daily goal, I'm here talking to you guys. So the original title of this book was just supposed to be Mother, and if you read it, you might understand why. And I originally started playing with the ideas of this book in my head when I was working a graveyard shift at a gas station, and I would sit up at the cash register when my coworker was on break or lunch, and just think about this book that I wanted to write. And I had only ever written like little short stories, or little segments of chapters that I thought about, but never really got that far. And then I remember just one day sitting down and pulling up a Word document and just starting to write it. And from there, I didn't really work on it with any sort of schedule, but just when certain ideas came to my head. Or at least when the ideas reorganized themselves enough that they could go onto paper. I didn't think too deeply about my end goal, but one night, when we were laying in bed, staring up at the ceiling, my brain finally landed on a conclusion for the book that was probably many, many chapters down the line still at that point. But it was at that point I said to myself that I needed to finish this book no matter what. Now at that point I didn't even think about sharing it with the world yet, or even sharing it with any close friends or family. I just wanted that story to exist, and for all the ideas rolling around in my head to finally be on paper, and for me not to have to worry about them anymore. And even when I did complete the story, I ended up returning to it several times after. Some of those times to iron out the story, some of those times to fix the grammar, the next big time to put it into a publishable state, and then when I released the trilogy collection of all 3 books, I went back and edited it for a last time. So I guess you could say the story's been evolving since then. So this brings us to the next part of the story. On my Ko-fi page, I release stories for my supporters for free. And before putting them up there, I do a little bit of editing, which got me thinking about editing Mother Mars once again. At that point, the thought popped into my head that this book really deserved kind of a rewrite. I wanted to put the story back together, but making use of all the writing practice I had got in those past few years, planning and writing and editing all my different stories that I put out since then. And then, as this NaNoWriMo session crept forward towards us, I had to decide what I was going to write, and with no other ideas really standing out in my head, it came back to this. And that's where we are. So for all my readers and watchers out there, I really want to share this book with as many people as I can. So for that reason, as I go through these new chapters, rewriting the whole story basically from the bottom up, they're going to be released on my blog at 50shadesofgrease.com for reading for free. So I hope to see you there. I hope to see you liking and subscribing this video as I produce more of this NaNoWriMo content. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!